Morning, everybody. Sammy, United People's TV. There's no way I'm calling this a therapy room. I don't know what to call this anymore. I don't know what to call watching Manchester United this season. I'm going to try my best this morning to have a conversation with all of you about what we saw last night in a season of chaos. So many moments of chaos. I think that's the fifth 4-3 that Man United have been involved in? That Chelsea one tips the lot. Tips the lot, tops the lot. How Manchester United have gone from being ahead in the 96th minute against Brentford and the 99th minute against Chelsea and come away from those two games with 1 point is, I mean, it's impressively bad, really. But what happens now? What happens next? All right. I want to have a conversation with all of you this morning. What I'm going to try and do in this this conversation, this live show with the community is try and keep my opinion to the side. I want to hear properly what you've all got to say because I'm going to do a video straight after this that's kind of focusing on my opinion. So let me see who's down here from the member gang. At what point is it too early to drink? I'm just asking for a friend. Stephanie, good morning to you. Vicky, Carl, Ant. We've got Alex here as well. Gungshi, how you doing, man? And Josh. Plenty of mods. Who's here from the members as well? Flash, we've got Chris. We've got Jake in the box. Robbie. We've got Matt. And we've got Gren. Who's on Facebook? Let's have a look. Good morning to you, John Mort, Simon Seddon, Thomas Hayes, Danny Eames, and Wayne. Good morning to all of you. Now, it's not exactly going to be a nice chat this morning. I'll be completely honest. The title of my show yesterday, well, the thumbnail was Chelsea. It's now or never this season. Well, ladies and gents, there's your answer. The answer is never. That is in my opinion, that's the Champions League gone, dusted. How many points are we now behind Spurs? Is it 9? I think it's 9. I was going to pull the table up later in the show, but may as well pull it up now. That's the table now. Yeah, 9 points behind Tottenham. So still mathematically. So there's 24 points available. There needs to be a 9-point swing in 20. I mean, somebody else do the maths this morning. That's a very unlikely swing. Of course, Spurs do play Arsenal. They do play City. And they do play Liverpool in the space of 3 games. But we play Liverpool on Sunday. And I'll be honest, I actually think United will genuinely turn up in that game. But where do you start? I mean, I know exactly where I'm going to start with that game. But there really are, like, you could grab this talking point, you could have a conversation about it with 10 minutes. You could grab this one. There are so many moments from that game yesterday which are just exhausting to watch as a fan. Gungshi, man, coming down and trying to spread some sort of positivity. Can you go into the dressing room? I don't know. See if they listen to you.
I can't believe it. Football, bloody hell.
That is the most appropriate use of football, bloody hell, that we've done in a long, long time. Mate, just look at that game. Starting off with the cutback from Conor Gallagher after 4 minutes. Oh, yeah, nice one, lads. Yeah, you learned about that one. Top performance there. To the silly penalty that Anthony gave away. Lost his man, running behind him. It was soft. If I'm looking at that again, man, that looked like a dive. But because the player cut in front of Anthony, they get given all the time. And then we got back in the game because Caicedo ballsed up and Garnacho just delivered. And then 2 fantastic goals from United. The second goal, equaliser from Bruno, was a really nice back to front bit of attacking that culminated with a lovely cross, I think, from Garnacho and a great header told Hoyland to leave it 2-2. And then on top of that, you get probably pass of the season from Anthony of all people. And United are 3-2 up going into the 97th minute. and then chaos. Well, let's be honest, it wasn't the only part of chaos. Now, people are, I can see it in the comments here. Oh, man, look at that. Alex, who's that? Alex, Rego, and Ricky. You've all gifted 5 memberships each. Let's just get the lights. Let's just do a combined one for all of you. Because you're all legends. If you want to go into the Discord, seriously, we'll just cry together. just go into a corner and cry together. James, you're saying, how did they come up with 8 minutes? Well, what? You had one. There was only one goal in the second. Yeah, there was one goal in the second half. But prior to that, there were a couple of injuries. Delo, look, that was a penalty. It really annoys me to say that was a penalty, but that was a penalty. Delo is beaten by his man, and as an attacker, you know what you then should do is run back in front of your defender, because you might then cause a clip of the heels. You're in a strong position then. If Delo wasn't there, the attacker, was it Madueke? He wouldn't have gone down. Delo accidentally clipped the back of, was it his own foot? Don't know. But if Delo wasn't there, he wouldn't have gone down. People are going to get angry with me with that in the comments. Delo tripped. Yeah, Delo tripped into him. It was just really unfortunate. What he should have done really is just taken him out just before he got into the box. Like, you can diss me. Barely any contact. Well, this is exactly why VAR looked at it for 2.5 minutes. The first one was in no way, shape, or form a penalty. Of course it was soft, man. I'm not saying it wasn't soft. Jeez, I'm not getting into a fucking argument about a penalty. That is the absolute least of the conversational talking points that I'm having this morning. All right, but if that happened against United, I want that as a penalty. That's for sure. Showtime Twin, you're asking for some joy. Well, you're probably not going to get some joy this morning, I'll be completely honest. Akash is saying, why aren't journalists asking tactical questions regarding conceding from cutbacks and what Ten Hag is doing about them? Mate, we've talked about cutbacks all season long. There have been conversations, multiple conversations about cutbacks, and nothing's changed. Nothing will change. But this has to be the first talking point here. How on earth do you have... One second there, wrong screen. Bruno Fernandes, who's marking the post down there. Scott McTominay, who's... I don't know how United defend from set pieces, I'll be completely honest. Mate, and give up on the penalty, mate. Give up in the comments, all right, about the penalty. We disagree. It was a minor contact, but he clipped him and he went down as a consequence. It is a penalty. And I'm saying this as a United fan. If you're off your rocker, if you are coming out of that game and you genuinely have got energy towards, referees took that away from us. It's a fix. Give over. Yeah, do you not watch the game of footy in front of you? Are you being serious? You are crackers if you are focusing on the referees from that game last night. Crackers. Anyway. How on earth do you have 1, 2, and Mason Mount over there, 3 United players going... I see that bloke over there who's you see that bloke over there who scored 2 goals against us. See that bloke over there who, I mean, how many goals he scored this season? You know what? We should probably just leave him in around about 10, 15 minutes. Minutes? 10, 15 meters of space. Just let him do what he wants. Like, we'll speak about Erik ten Hag's tactics. We'll speak about Erik ten Hag's approach. But, mate, that right there is just... How on earth do you leave Palmer in that much space? And it's Manchester United, right? And this makes it even worse, by the way. Bruno Fernandes saying, look, we knew beforehand that they take corners and throw-ins quickly. So you've got 3 players there who's saying, someone else go and mark him. Now, Bruno Fernandes is standing on the post. That's kind of a standard. That's his job for that corner. So I'm probably going to take some responsibility away from Bruno on that one, because that's probably what he's told to do on set pieces. But no one else is going out to chase. I'm not gonna put this down onto an individual. But I just don't get how the entire team is just leaving Palmer there. And honestly, man, this feels like a how is this even possible? It's the 98th minute against Brentford and we're 1-0 up and we come away with the draw. It's the 99th minute away at Chelsea and we're 3-2 up and we come away with a defeat. We come away with 1 point from 6 available from these 2 situations. Do you have any idea how bad that is? And it gets worse, all right? It gets worse. This has to be, of all the stats and anything you can throw at me for this season, this right here is the worst of the lot. That was the 5th 4-3 that United have been involved in this season. We've lost 3 of them. We conceded 2 goals in 4 minutes away at Bayern Munich. You'll remember that. We conceded 2 goals in a minute and 2 goals in 4 minutes against Copenhagen. 2 goals in 5 minutes against Wolves. 2 goals in 2 minutes against Liverpool. And 2 goals in 2 minutes against Chelsea. These Manchester United players, when something adverse happens in a game, any hint of adversity, and a goal that's being conceded, as you can see on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 different times this season, when adversity kicks in, it's like the brain switches off. You get absorbed into the moment. And that there is just horrendous. Because Man United, so often this season, have just switched off at critical moments. And it's cost us so much. Now that does not... You can have a go at Erik ten Hag all you want. And trust me, there are so many grounds for criticism. But fuck me, lads. What are you doing on the pitch? How is it that you collectively, you just kind of turn into... It's not stroppy teenagers. It's just like, oh, woe is me. As soon as adversity kicks in. And there's a wealth of examples and evidence of that. It's not just an isolated incident from Chelsea yesterday. It's been a repeating problem all season. Malcolm, you're saying you're dreading Sunday. I'll be totally honest. I expect Manchester United to be significantly better against Liverpool on Sunday. That being said, I don't think we'll be good enough to win. Well, we'll find out. It's Vicky, you're saying if this is the end for Ten Hag, I'm disappointed in what he has dealt with. Actually be ashamed of the culture of INEOS. How is this on INEOS, Vicky? I don't really get the link there. The culture is the culture of Manchester United that existed before INEOS came in, and they've been trying to resolve it and fix it. Oh, man. At least I got Newcastle in the League Cup final. That was fun. Akash, you're saying what hurts is we usually score in those last minutes. We didn't need to score. And actually, there was a period for like a few minutes maybe. I was like, they're actually knocking it around. Good little passes, good little interplay. When Mount came on, I thought he made a difference. Then just one ball over the top in space, and then Deleu's chasing him behind. I'm thinking, don't do it. Ah, you've done it. You've done it. Alex, you're saying we've conceded 27 goals within 10 minutes of either scoring or conceding. My God. My word. What happens next then? What happens next? Honestly, it's seriously. I want to know what the thing that I would encourage you to do before you sort of fire your comments and questions in here is, and I don't mean this in a horrible way, but my opinion doesn't matter. Your opinion doesn't matter. What do we think INEOS are going to be doing? What do we think the conversations are and have been all season? INEOS are not going to make a decision based off what happened against Chelsea because we conceded 2 late goals. No, they're going to be doing like a holistic view of the overall picture. Stephanie saying Poch. Who gives it? I don't care about Poch. I really don't care about Poch. Let me see what's saying down here. Win against Liverpool is necessary, says Siva. Mate, the win against Chelsea was necessary. To keep... Yeah. The league's done. The league's done. The league's done. Well, we're 9 points behind. As I said, I've just done the maths. 24 points available. We're 9 points behind Spurs. We need that amount of swing. And that means that we need to win the games that Spurs will lose. So it effectively means we can hardly slip up between now and the end of the season. And when was it? What's been our biggest... I actually don't know the answer to this question. What's been our biggest win streak in the league this year? Because I'm sure at one point, I think it was... Was it January time? Ish. I think the Man United were the informed team in the league. So we have had periods of it. But I'm curious to know, actually, what's the most amount of games that we've won in a row so far this season? Alex, you're saying INEOS won't sack him if it costs him 20 mil. I don't know what that whole compensation package is. And personally, I suppose this is just an opinion, but I don't think they'll do. I think Erik Ten Hag's here until the end of the season. Jason, you're saying sell the players. Russ, you're trying to dig out Marcus Rashford individually. Why are people doing this? Apparently, we've won 5 in a row. Win streak, and it's somewhere between 3 and 5 games. Okay, so somewhere between 3 and 5 games is the biggest run that Manchester United have gone on this season. So we're going to have to do that now, and probably more. So we're going to have to do something between now and the end of the season that we haven't done all season long. Not impossible. Very improbable is what I would say. But yeah, why people... If you really like, people want to go after individuals last night. Cool, man. People want to try and say, "Oh, Deleu's awful." I've seen some mad stuff being said about Diogo Deleu, who's probably been our best player this season. Man, I'm fucking bored. Of arguing about United. I'm sorry if I'm swearing. I'm sorry if there's anybody who's watching with kids. But it's just exhausting, man. It's so exhausting. And I've kind of embraced the chaos. My prediction for that game last night was 3-3. And I was sitting there going, oh, as if I'm right, but I can't believe I'm right. And I was wrong. Sam, talk about Anthony. Why? Anthony had a really good game, man. That was an outrageous pass from Anthony. Means absolutely sweet FA. Nobody talking about how bad Casemiro is, dude. I've been getting, I don't know how much shtick. I'm getting an absolute ton of shtick from so many people all season for saying what I'm seeing in front of my eyes with Casemiro. I personally can't remember a drop-off as big as Casemiro from a player of Casemiro's caliber and quality. I've really just, I'm so confused by it. Casemiro goes this summer, right? Saudi Arabia come in, and they offer a good amount of money. We say thank you, and Casemiro moves on. Like that bit where I can't remember who it was that jogged past him, but I was like, what? It's like, what? How? I suppose by that sense, I should be equally as frustrated with what I saw from Marcus Rashford when he came on. Fucking hell, man. It's just like in a season of just like unadulterated chaos. And that's the thing, right? So Man United going into the last 10 minutes of that game, after a game of just pure madness and chaos, you're thinking, right, well, what you need to do now is control the ball. And we tried it, and we did all right with it. But everything is geared towards chaos and not really controlling a game. It's geared towards transitions. It's like a game of NBA. Switching courts. But it's up and down. I know, honestly, my hamstrings hurt really watching that game. I said that a few times. So to go from that mindset of chaos, rapid transition, to then 3-2 up, 10 minutes to go, calm it down. Ping it to each other. Pass, move, triangles. I mean, they were capable of it, so they obviously work on it at training, but little mistake, boom, go, they're in. It's very hard to completely change between the two. Someone's talking about that Garnacho down there. I have no idea. I mean, I do have an idea, right? Garnacho's 19. His fitness levels are absolutely unreal. Bombing it forward, tracking back. Does he track back incredibly? Every single... No, he does not. But nobody does. And nobody would be able to physically sustain that. I don't think there'll be anybody in the Premier League that could physically sustain that and the amount of ground that he's covering. 40 yards forward, 30 yards back. 20 yards forward, 40 yards back. 60 yards forward, 40 yards back. And he was doing it the whole game. And got 2 goals for it. And then Mount came on for him. Being an absolute shining light this season from an attacking perspective. Right, I'm going to go down and read a few. Yeah, I'm in a mood this morning. Yeah, I'm nibbling. I'd like to think you can understand why. Right, I want to go and read some of these out. I don't want to miss any. Fizz and Shax. Let me just send the link to Discord for everybody. Fizz and Shax have welcomed 10 more of you into the gang. Man. I can't believe that. I want United to be so good for this community, man. Well, this community deserves it. Right, a couple of you have sent in some super chats. Let me read these out, and then I'll go back down and read some more of your comments on Facebook as well. Akash, you're saying the mental fragility of this squad needs dealing with. I'm back in Ten Hag for another season under a SP structure. What does that mean? Sporting structure? Then we should judge him fairly. We've got one here from Apna. You're saying what happens next is that fans need to acknowledge it's a long process. It will take time, multiple good transfer windows, and an improved squad fitness. This sacking Ten Hag hysteria is just of no help. Nick, I'll follow on with you, and I can collectively answer all of these. I'm not Ten Hag out, but if things don't improve, I can see him being replaced. It's not like there wouldn't be someone in the summer. Klopp leaving Liverpool will start a manager merry-go-round. Well, I've already spoken about that quite a lot, Nick. Barcelona looking for a manager. We know that Liverpool looking for a manager. We know that Bayern Munich are looking for a manager. It's 3 out of the top 5 clubs in the world. And if you add Man United into that, that's 4 out of the 5 biggest clubs in the world, aside from Real Madrid, who are looking for a manager in the same summer. And I doubt that's ever happened. Like ever. Going back to the comment there. What happens next is fans need to acknowledge it's a long process. I absolutely acknowledge that. I have acknowledged it the whole way through. I've acknowledged it for a long, long time. You know full well the amount of work and research that I've done into the structural appointments and how important. I'm very, very aware of that. I'm also very aware that INEOS have come in and spent 1.2, 1.5. Well, Ratcliffe has spent 1.2, 1.5. I actually don't know exactly who it is. I know the 300 mil was from Ratcliffe personally. I'm guessing the money itself came from INEOS, so it's like an INEOS Ratcliffe combo. I'm very aware that they are doing an entire overhaul and an entire review. I've got it written down here actually, right? I've got it written on this piece of paper. This is a video I'm going to record straight after this, and just my honest opinion on the Ten Hag situation, because I'd be surprised if he's here next season now. And I'm not saying that from my own personal opinion perspective. I'm saying that from an objective perspective, where I try and remove myself and take away anything that I've seen, anything that I remember about Ten Hag and what he did last season. And I try and think about what INEOS are going to be looking at. And that's what I'm going to be doing for the lunchtime video. And it's a shitty old cycle, man. And then that drags you back into the conversation saying, well, how can you possibly? That's what I mean. My personal opinion, I've sort of embraced the chaos of this season. When I realised that chaos was the only way out of it. When I realised that the control that I thought was coming was never coming. And that the chaos had been the route that we'd gone down. I'll explain more in the lunchtime video. And this is not something that I want. Fucking hell. That game properly broke me last night. Properly. Flash, you're saying, I believe in Ten Hag. I'm hoping he's given the power to get rid of the big players that don't try. Oh, fucking hell. You know what I'm really, really looking forward to? And I look, in a couple of years' time, we can look back on this. I'm not look back on this. In a couple of years' time, I'm sitting back in the chair. I can't sit forward anymore. Can't be bothered. It's going to be a revelation when we've actually got a squad that's been built properly over a 2 to 3 year period, isn't it? Like properly. squad building is just something that we've never, even under Erik ten Hag, we haven't been able to do it. Man. How? I've got to go back to it. I'm going to go read some more of your comments out on Facebook, what you're saying. Why do people keep linking Gareth Southgate? That's going to make me sit forward again. Like, why? Right? Let's take a step into the hypothetical here. If INEOS decide, in fact, just 1 second, if Jim Ratcliffe and Dave Brailsford, who looks about 1'3" there, if they decide that the right path for Manchester United to go down under our stewardship is to shake hands with Erik ten Hag, to say, thank you very much, and they get their own manager in, in what way, shape or form is Gareth Southgate next in line? Because whoever comes in, I'm not saying they're going to be of the mould of Erik ten Hag, but it's not literally impossible, right? But logically, they're going to have to look towards a manager who will be able to use that squad of players. Obviously, not in the exact same fashion that Erik ten Hag has, but you know what we've done ever since Fergie, man. We've gone from Fergie to Moyes, to Van Gaal, to Mourinho, to Solskjaer, to Rangnick, to Ten Hag. And we've gone like this direction with players, that direction with players, this direction and that direction. And we've got a squad that's an utter mismatch. To bring Southgate in, who is like king pragmatism. He is a get a goal and sit in a 6-3-1 formation. Ride it out. Kind of like Mourinho used to do, peak Mourinho. Right? That is Gareth Southgate. This squad, and it's not been built great, if I'm being completely honest, but you'd have to rip this squad up completely and rebuild in a Southgate. That's never happening. I don't know why is there so much energy behind Gareth Southgate? Like Christ. I don't understand it. And in a market where you've got Ruben Amorim, who's probably going Liverpool, Julian Nagelsmann, Roberto De Zerbi. If you want to, there are so many other places that United would look if they went down that path. And there's gonna be people who are getting angry with me, right? I think I'm just being realistic now. I can't see how Jim Ratcliffe and Brailsford. Oh, maybe they can. This is what I mean. Like you have to. It's why it's so important. This is, by the way, this is why I hate doing fan cams, or the concept of fan cams. Even doing a match reaction, you're really riding high on emotions, and sometimes you can't step out and try and be as objective as possible. Man, INEOS are just going to be asking questions. As I said, I'll answer it more in the in my lunchtime video, which I have to do early today because I've got a doctor's appointment at 12, so I need to get it recorded before I go out. Abner, you're saying, Sam, objectively, Ten Hag has won leagues more than any upcoming manager who will be available to replace him. I know for a lot of people, that's a massive marker of who the right manager is to bring in. Oh, Hasn't won anything here. He hasn't won anything there. He's only won it in the Dutch league. I don't think that's as important as the principles and the qualities of the manager and the person himself. Just because somebody scored 30 goals in a Dutch league doesn't mean they're going to come in and score 30 goals in a Premier League. I think it's kind of a comparing apples and oranges. But I really felt for Erik last night to a certain point. The chaotic nature of the game is something that Erik ten Hag actively encourages, right? He has done all season. But when you look at the numbers here, and you look at this madness. That right there is unsustainable in the long term. And I think that's probably the fairest way to describe Manchester United this season. Unsustainable in the long term. Which, of course, would be so different had we not had so many injuries. Faced the most shots in the league. Faced more shots than any other side in Europe's top 5 leagues. Yesterday, the one thing I said that I wanted to see from Manchester United was for us to sort of drop the high press and adopt more of a mid-press, which I think we kind of did at the beginning for 3 minutes until they scored. And then as soon as Manchester United, and I suppose chasing the game worked. It was 2-0 down and it was 3-2 up. There is one thing that I will absolutely say here with complete and utter confidence, right? When it comes to other United managers who have reached points like this, the players have kind of stopped playing for them. I wouldn't say they've all necessarily down tools. But you look at them and you go, well, they're not really doing it for him. I really don't think you can apply that to Erik ten Hag. I really don't. Whether it's the game against Liverpool, whether it's that game there, they do want it to work. They are working for him. But the game plan itself, from a long-term perspective, it's just not sustainable, right? Erik ten Hag saying this, and this is completely what it is, man. We can play outstanding football in moments, and that's what we've been all season. A team very capable of incredible moments. We got the moment of the season from Ahmad. We got an incredible couple of moments yesterday. That second goal was glorious. Onana throwing it out. Nice pass. Nice passage of play. Anthony over to Garnacho, I think it was. Garnacho back into Bruno. Hey, that was like an elite level transition goal. Yeah, look where we are in the league. Boah, it's proper chicken or the egg conversation now, isn't it? Is it players? Is it manager? It's neither, really. If we're going root cause analysis, which is the word I always try to use, it's about the structure and the environment. I'm telling you, I'm removing my opinion on this one, and I'm trying to put myself in the shoes of Ratcliffe and INEOS. I'm thinking, what are they going to do? And it's got nothing to do with the fact that last year, between January and the League Cup final against Newcastle, we were excellent, supreme. That's something that I remember as a fan. That's not something that they're going to be looking at. They're going to strip emotion out of it. That's what management does. Management remove. That's why. If everybody gets on with that, not talking about Football Manager, but managers in your job. Management is not easy. Management is about making decisions that not everybody likes because they are able to take the emotion out of decisions. Max, thank you very much for gifting a membership there, dude. Look, you know what, right? honestly, I believe this. I know people are going to be worried about a mauling against Liverpool. I don't think there will be a mauling against Liverpool. I think United will turn up on Sunday. I think it will. My prediction is that it's going to end up being a sort of similar sort of vein to what happened against City. I don't think any United fan came away from that City game going with the same sort of humiliating feeling that we've had from so many games like that this season. But it'll be a game where the quality will come through by the end of the 90 minutes. This Liverpool team are marching towards the title in Klopp's long goodbye. This Manchester United team, they are fighting for Erik ten Hag. But the chaos is just unrelenting. And I'm expecting more chaos on Sunday. Will we come out of the right side of chaos? I don't know. But I knew this show was going to be crap this morning. I didn't expect anything less. Not everybody agrees with me. On the penalties. First one was 100% a dive. Second one, I felt sorry for Delo, but he kind of tripped over himself, touched him. That's why it was given. Man. Liverpool on Sunday. Feels like going to the firing squad, doesn't it? That's what it feels like. Look. Enjoy your Friday night. Enjoy your Saturday night. I'm going to do a video just now on, honestly, just my opinion on this Ten Hag situation. I tried to keep my opinion out of this. I tried to leave it as a community show. My opinion's crept in. I'm sure you can forgive me for being in a bad mood this morning. It's almost like United. We're 3-2 up in the 97th minute away at Chelsea and lost 4-3. The game after we were 1-0 up against Brentford in the 96th minute, and we drew that game. Nice map day today. Bloody hell. Who wants to go? The map of doom. Not the map of doom. It's a happy ending. Not that sort of happy ending. You got to pay for those. What a mad end to the show. But anybody, if you want to jump on the map, let me know where you're watching from, the town and the country, and I'll get a few of you added onto the map. All right. I do this every single week. It's part of the community show that we do on Friday. Mordor. Yeah. That sounds about right. Vibev, you're watching from Mumbai. Good morning to you, dude. Well, it's probably not morning. It's not morning in India. Is it 5 hours ahead there? I think it is. What's that? Nearly 3 o'clock. Oh, let's get a couple more on here. We've got Paul Fagan watching from Gosport. Where is Gosport? I ain't got no idea. Hampshire. That's Southampton. I think it is. Might have just made that up. I'm so rubbish with counties in England. I really should know more about them. And Brian, you're watching from Rome in Italy. That's cool. Well, Rome wasn't built in a day, they will scream. Oh, I know that. Is it 12 o'clock yet? I can't have a drink yet. Damn it. Look, thank you all for taking the time out this morning to try and have a conversation about it. We're not all going to agree on everything. I'd like to think that we actually can have a conversation around it, even if I disagree with you. I'll do my video now. And hopefully, I might be releasing a nicer video tomorrow on the Vidic and Van Dijk debate. The latest in the little mini docs that we do. Because I think that's such a stupid debate. And it might be a nice little distraction, we say, from the football that's going on right now. Much love to you all. I'll see you on Monday, but I'll see you at lunchtime as well. Not for a live show.